No way. Because if you make another mistake, then go and bury yourself politically. I will not allow myself to be buried. I will not allow that mistake again. So everybody should know. We have taken a decision, and we have taken a decision. So I thank you for coming.
So those are the words of Raging Storm Wike, where he declared he will not support the re-election of Rivers State Governor Fubara in 2027. Let's even be praying that everybody is alive by that time, because now God they give life. So I don't know where the talk of not supporting the governor is coming from when you don't even know if he'll be alive by that time. Warning that backing him again would destroy his political structure in Rivers State, as if his father owns Rivers State. Speaking in Okrika, Wike said his camp had taken a final decision in support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his camp, and framed the stance as political survivor. This guy will be so disappointed in 2027. Wike warned that those he considers disloyal would face political consequences in the next election cycle. He has forgotten that he's no longer the governor, and the governor has so much power beyond what Wike can think or fathom. Let's discuss this. Please don't go away. So Wike, the storm that is always raging, the bulldozer without brakes, is now beginning to fear. To me, this is not a declaration of strength at all. It is a confession of fear. When politics becomes about avoiding barrier rather than serving the people, like we saw in Wike's countenance, behavior, and voice, relevance has already begun to fade, and Wike knows it's time for him to leave the stage because there's a new sheriff in town. So, core contradiction in Wike's argument to me is that Wike says supporting Fubara will bury his structure politically. Let's look at that very well. If you say supporting Fubara will bury your structure politically, what this simply implies is that number one, your structure cannot survive without controlling the governor. People on Rivers should know that a structure that cannot survive without controlling the governor is no structure. So Wike does not have structure. His influence depends on dominance, not relevance. So he wants to be like, yes, I have dominance, blah blah blah. It's not relevant. He wants to dominate rather than for him to be relevant. So that is not political strength to me. It is political dependency. He's leeching on the people. The money he has taken, the money he has stolen, according to Deji Adeyanju, is enough for him to go and be doing whatever he wants to do. He should leave the people of Rivers alone. So the bigger picture is that power has shifted. We can take it or leave it. Power has shifted. This is not about 2027 alone. It's about, to me, a former governor adjusting to reduce, influence. That is, his influence has reduced, so he's trying to adjust to it, and he's trying to fight because he's a stubborn man. This kind of very stubborn man. He don't shrink. All the fat where the body don't come out, all the muscle don't shrink over quarrel. And to me, he's also a sitting governor asserting authority. So a former governor who is losing power and a sitting governor who is asserting authority, that to me, this thing now fight to the finish. So Wike should know that political survival is not a governing principle in politics at all. So in the end, cannot be coming to threaten that he is going to be buried when Fubara becomes governor. Politics in a democracy is about public mandates. People vote for you and then you serve them, not about personal survival. Nobody cares if Wike is surviving or not. I don't even personally care. Wike bought millions, house worth millions of dollars for his children in the United States. So what concerns him with the poor masses? So when a senior public officer like Wike is beginning to frame decisions purely as self-preservation, it exposes weakness and not leadership. So governance cannot be hostage to anxiety of one political godfather called Wike in Rivers State. It cannot be, because he also met people there that the Wike is always talking about, is shrinking. It is collapsing. Wike repeatedly said we in that particular video. So he is no longer the governor. You should know that. So he does not control state institution. So he will not be able to rig the election the way he rigged the election that brought him in the second term, or that brought in Fubara. You should know that. So political influence fades once access to coercive or power of states is gone. No, so he does not have it. And now Fubara is in APC. Do you think APC will allow him to just treat Fubara anyhow? Even if I thought there will be some people that want to betray Fubara, he cannot just go easily like that. So history shows that political structure built around individuals collapse when power shifts You know, Obasanjo was there before. When Obasanjo put Jeradua, then Jonathan and all of that, Obasanjo could only criticize. He never fumbled or boasted that he was going to remove that man in power, otherwise he would have failed. So threatening political barrier reveals weakness. It just shows that Wike is already very weak. Leaders confront, leaders are confident in their relevance, do not speak in terms of barrier and extinction. Rather, they talk more positively. So this language suggests, number one, panic over loss of dominance, because this guy is already a loser. He knows that once Tinubu drops in, that his own is finished. And then fear of irrelevance imposed Godfather politics, because he knows that, you know, the only way it can be relevant to Tinubu is if he can control rivers. Now that he's losing rivers, it means there's a problem for him. So strong political movements don't, survive by threat. They survive by popular legitimacy. You should look at it. Oshomole did it to that guy in Edo State. What happened? The guy disgraced him and the guy had his way for 8 years. So refusing to support an incumbent governor is risky, not strategic. Wike does not have that common sense. Refusing to support an incumbent that is even in APC means you are spelling doom for yourself. So now you see that it's a gamble against incumbency. Advantage, because this guy has incumbency advantage and he has APC, so Wike is gambling against that. And it's also a gamble against state machinery, because this guy is going to control the stadium, going to control the INEC of the state and everything, and he's going to, do you think he's going to allow himself to lose an election? He can never, when he's not somebody. So Nigerian electoral history favors incumbents, not former power brokers like Wike, who was never even loyal to all the things he said. He was never even loyal to all the and other people who put him there. So this stance may isolate Wike's camp rather than protect it, even if he has a camp. Those people, they're just collecting his money. By the time the money goes down now, they'll switch to the governor who controls over 6 billion naira according to the State House of Assembly. So loyalty politics cannot defeat voter reality. That was what happened in Edo. They said Edo not be Lagos, and they made sure that Oshomole did not have his way with Obaseki the second time Obaseki was coming. So commending individuals for loyalty during crisis reinforces, number one, patronage politics, and Nigerians will hate it now, not democracy or accountability. You are saying they are loyal to you. What crisis are you talking? If there's somebody that had crisis, it was Fubara, not Wike. So if anybody should commend people who were loyal to him, you should be Fubara commending people who were loyal to him when he was on 6 months suspension. So elections are not won by loyalty to Godfather, but by the voters' trust. People in Rivers State will not vote whoever Wike is going to support. They will rather vote continuity, because that guy is delivering, Fubara. So political loyalty without mass appeal often fails at the ballot box. Wike also knows that. So character is not defined by obedience. When he was talking about character, that those people, whose character? Does Wike even have character? He was praising the character of all those other people. Was saying that Fubara does not have character. Wike's framing of character equates to, number one, submission. Wike wants people to be submissive to him. He wants a whole sitting governor to be submissive to him, and that can never happen, because it can only be for a short while. So political, he also wants it also shows political obedience. It cannot be. True political character includes, number one, independence. When a governor is independent, has independence to operate, then that's when we see that this governor has what we call political character, and the courage to resist undue influence. Yes, Nigerian voters increasingly reject leaders who demand absolute loyalty. Wike is demanding. Wike is too small to do that. South is not like Southwest, where even in Southwest, it's only in Lagos that thing has ever happened. No governor has ever been able to bring somebody and control the person. No living governor has been able to do that. So Wike should know that. So invoking 2027 as punishment, to me, is arrogant, because he does not even know if he will live to 2027. So suggesting opponents will pay in 2027, he say, they'll pay. They'll pay. Why are you sure that you won't be there? How are you sure that Tinubu will not remove you as a minister? Once Tinubu removes you as minister, you are gone. So to me, this assumes control over voters, which he does not have. Number two, control over outcomes, which Wike may not have, because APC machinery will definitely support their own Fubara. So elections punish arrogance more than people who disobey. Do you understand? When you are arrogant, they say, oh, okay, you are arrogant, I will humble you. Rather than people who just say, we don't disobey authority, and then election does not punish, because voters would always be sympathetic towards them, the way they did to Obaseki when he had fight with Oshomole. So the era where elections were settled by threat is rapidly declining in Nigeria. Though Tinubu is one who encouraged it, where he said grab it, seize it, run away with it, snatch it, and all of that, but he cannot have his way with that this time around. So you should know that the new sheriff is in town. So alignment with Tinubu is not a political shield. Thinking that declaring when he said that for Tinubu we are not going back regarding Bola Tinubu does not, to me, guarantee relevance. Number 2, does not secure ticket. Number 3, does not ensure control of state politics, because he has no choice than to support Tinubu. They said there is no going back. Okay, let him go back on Tinubu. Even if Tinubu supports Wike now, let Tinubu support Fubara, let Wike go back and say he's no more doing, and see if he's going to have any effect on Tinubu. Tinubu already knows he's in control and in power. So presidential alliance are transactional. That is, now just now when they do the business, you do relevant. After that, not emotional. So Tinubu will never sacrifice anything over emotion for Wike. So power center shift when interests change. Let him move away from Tinubu now. You'll see that Tinubu will just push him aside and move on. So Godfather politics is losing moral authority in Nigeria. People do not really want it again. If not, Obasanjo would have tried to do it. Obasanjo didn't do it. Nigerians increasingly view Godfatherism as number 1, anti-democratic. We hate it in Nigeria. And then number 2, anti-development. Because you'll be packing the money to be given to your godfather. And in the end, the people will be the ones who will suffer. So public sympathy often aligns with leaders who resist domination. They'll say, yes, this man and man you be, and you will support. Not those who enforce it and say, hey, yes sir, Oga sir. My Oga should just be mouth. When it comes to real decision, you should be a man of your own. So Wike's rhetorics of this Wike's rhetorics of to me, it reinforces the very system Nigerians are tired of. I am personally tired of it because I do not like the way things are in this country. So fear-driven politics, it don't go. It quench the age. Politics where we say it's motivated by fear don't disappear from Nigeria. Nobody they fear. The worst thing is that they remove Fubara. Even when they had the power to remove Fubara from the House of Assembly, Fubara did not bend to them. Is it now he will not bend when he's in APC? Don't they have sense? So to me, all those kind of things would encourage rash decisions. It will alienate neutrality, and it will mobilize opposition to say, we need to do something. So, but when you are calm, definitely you'll be able to get what you want. So Nigerian politics is slowly moving from personal empires to institutional power, where the institution is one that has the power, not the type we see them doing. And to me, I'll conclude by saying, this is not a declaration of strength, what Wike has done. You see that Wike in his fragile state, in his frail state, Wike that used to be big like this and all of that, what he has done to me is not a declaration of strength. It is a confession of fear. Wike is scared now, like Okonkwo in Things Fall Apart. They say Okonkwo didn't want to be seen as weak because his father was weak, and anything that has to do with weakness, Okonkwo fought against it. That's why he brandished a machete and cut the head of the messenger of the white man. This was why he used a gun, he shot a gun at his wife. This was why he did all the things he did, and then what happened to Okonkwo? Okonkwo, realized that nobody was going to fight for him, and he went into the evil forest and he hanged himself. So when politics becomes about avoiding barrier rather than serving the people, relevance has already begun to fade. Wike is out of the picture. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I remain your boy Ernest Omozogba Adebayo Okoje. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Signing out. Peace.